Hey everybody, this is Laura with McLeod Homestead, and I'm over here at my gardens, and I just thought I would sit down with you and give you an update about what is going on with the solar panels. The unit works great. It's charging the battery as it should. The inverter works, both of them. Where I am having the issue is on my own failings. The lights do not stay lit for as long as I like. So I have done some experimenting, did a little bit more research, which is what I should have done in the first place. And I'm going to tell you what I came up with. The side with the hydroponics will stay lit for 4 hours. And then some, if I want it. The side with all the raised beds, about 45 minutes. And with all of it together, a half hour. Let me show you why. So one thing I wanted to show you with the control panel is, you see the blinking arrow? That's telling me that the solar panels are charging the battery, and that function is working properly. That tells me I have 13.8 volts in my battery. There is no arrow to that light bulb, which means these outlets have no power to them. If I press this button, that arrow lights up and I have power, as you can see with the light bulb. I hit the button again, the light goes off. So that works as it should. I'll leave that on because I will be charging my phone. So I will say the instructions for this control panel are not the best. And I've really had to go to the internet and watch videos to learn more about it. When we hit this other function button, that's how much battery juice, when fully charged, the battery can hold. That's 14.4 volts. 13.8 is what it's saying is in there. 10.8, the battery's completely dead. It's not going to do anything. When it charges back up to 12.6, then we can use these outlets. And we are back to the setting where it's telling us how much is in the battery. So, as we come down to my power inverter, I turn the power on. As you can see, it's showing that there is a full battery. There are 0 watts being used on my 1000-watt power inverter. Now I do have the extension cord plugged in, and right now it is connected to the lights inside the greenhouse and to the lights on the side with all the raised beds. So when I turn the power on, we're going to see how much watts that is. $382 watts. Draining the battery quick. And just that small amount of time, it took my battery, according to the controller, from 13.8 volts down to 13.4 volts in just that short amount of time. So now let's just do the raised beds without the lights inside the greenhouse. Oops. Wrong button. $380 watts, 381 watts. Can we see where the issue is? With both sides plugged in, plus the lights inside the greenhouse, we are at it's a lot of watts. 443. Here is just the inside of the greenhouse and the hydroponic side lights. $50 watts we'll figure. And if we unplug inside the greenhouse, we drop down to 43 watts. So inside the greenhouse, we run 7 watts. There's a big difference. So we ask, why is there such a big difference between the raised bed side and the side with the hydroponics? That's plain and simple. The lights on the raised bed side are regular lights. The hydroponic side is all LEDs. So one of the things I am going to currently do is I have some of these 48 feet LED solar lights. I paid $50 a piece for them. They are so worth it. I have them on my raised bed area with the grapes. I don't know if you can see any of them hanging there, some. But they have been on there now for a year and a half. And they went through the winter, everything, no problems. They stay lit all night and well worth the investment. Maybe a little pricey, but like I said, well worth. To help offset with the lights around the greenhouse for now, I have 2 sets of these, so that gives me about 100 feet of lights, and I am going to put them up for now. What can I say? Everything over here is just going solar. And so yeah, that's what I am gonna do. I am just gonna put these up, and then we are going to do some figuring on how to get the results that I want with the rest of the lights. In my videos, I don't know if you've ever noticed, there are like 2 strands of lights. These ones I don't use. These are also LEDs, but they were the cheap ones I bought through Rite Aid for like $7, and they didn't hold up but a season for the most part. And when I put these ones up, I just took and I was quick. Didn't feel like taking the old down. I guess it's time we start doing things right. So I had done the same thing on this side. These are the regular light bulbs. I don't know if it'll focus so you can see. Versus the caps are missing on these LEDs. These lights are still good. So what I will do is I will take them down and I will eventually use them somewhere. But as you could see at the time, I couldn't find replacement bulbs for them. I just used regular, I think these are C11 Christmas light bulbs. Alright, so what are we going to do now? Well, I need to do some figuring. I want my lights to be able to stay on for 4 hours when the sun goes down, or to set a timer for 4 hours. So I need to sit down and do some math figures and figure out how many strands of LED lights we're going to use. Many people don't know this about me, but I actually have a bachelor's degree and my minor is in math. Why I did not bring this side out in me beforehand? Because I knew better. I really did. I knew better, but I was just too excited. So now I'm going to do something that I enjoy doing, and I am going to get out the formulas. We are going to do the figuring and playing with the numbers. So let me show you how to do that and how to do some figures. So a watt hour would be how many watts per hour that you use. So if you have more than one device connected like we did on the lights, then you would add all of those watts up to get your total watts. For example, one of ours was 444 watts per hour. Okay? And then you have what is amp hour. And that is a measurement of current or charge. That doesn't include your voltage in an amp hour. You just calculate energy by using the amp hour. So, an example, a 100 amp hour battery gives you 100 amps of energy per hour. Pretty simple. So, my battery is a 12 volt battery at 35 amp hours. Watt hours equals amp hours times volts. So, in my case, watt hour was 444, which equals amp hours times 12 volts. So, in order to figure out the amount of time that 12 volt battery is going to hold, we need to do 444 divided by 12, and that will give us our amp hours. So our total run time would be 37 minutes. So using the same conversion, I use watt hours equals amp hours times volts, and I want it to run for 4 hours on a 12 volt battery. I have to keep my watts per hour at 48 or less. One last thing I wanted to show you. My battery is a 12 volt battery that releases 35 amp hours. So when I do the calculation, if I take 12 times 35, that gives me 420. So I will completely deplete the battery in 1 hour at a maximum of 420 watts. Now, could I just come in and say, okay, well, let's just get bigger battery, do something of that nature? The answer is no. You cannot. If you start going bigger, then you have to look at wire sizes, and you have to factor all that stuff in. What I can do if I need more than 48 watts per hour, was it 48? Yeah. So if I need more than 48, what I can do is I can buy another battery of the same size, and I can put a jumper on it and then charge 2, and that would bring me up to 88 watts per hour that I could use. So that might be a situation that I'm gonna have to do. We'll have to do some figuring and see. So I wanted to come in and show you because I have a couple of lights here in the box. Remember those yellow lights we saw out there? Well, here's a box for them. And as you can see, it is rated at 2.4 watts per hour. So if we do the calculation and we take the total max of 48 and we divide it out by 2.4, that means we can run up to 20 strands of those lights. Okay, that may seem like a lot, but let's be honest. I have a large area. Inside of this greenhouse, I have 1, 2, 3 strands alone. Whew, had to come outside. It's a little hot in there. On my side with the raised beds, I have 10 strands. And on the side with the hydroponics, I have 6 strands. So we're really close and really tight. Okay, so in all of this, what is my goal? My goal now is to get lights all around where I want them, to be on 4 hours a night. And that means I do have to buy some new LED lights. And I will help with the usage. I will hang up these solar lights, which will eliminate probably will eliminate, because these are 50 foot, almost 50 foot long. So that's like 2 strands of lights alone. So right there's 4 strands. This is doable. This is workable. It's just doing your math, doing your figuring, and doing your studying of the information. So that is what I'm going to work on now. This is not something I can just go out and buy the stuff right now and go do. I could, help by going to buy another battery and putting a jumper, but I'd rather not. If I buy another battery, it's because I'm setting up for the chicken coop or possibly some other animals that looks like might be coming to the homestead here right quick. I know I said I was going to wait to order the lights, but when I got to looking, I found some online and they were on sale. But when I plug it in, it's 12 to 13 watts. Perfect. I've got 2 strands of them. They are both 100 feet long apiece. So I have both of the 100-foot strands of lights on the fence and hooked up. So let's see now how much wattage it takes. 37 watts. I do not have inside of the greenhouse hooked up yet. 40 watts with the greenhouse lights inside hooked up. That's under my 48, guys. That's a success. If you notice, I was able to come across the greenhouse with these strands. And if you look, you will notice that all the old strands of lights have been taken off. So I just wanted to show you all the lights are on and working. They were on when I came home. And I've been home now for a good hour or so. So I think we may have fixed our problem. And it looks good. All right, everybody. Well, we have success. This girl is going to go collect chicken eggs and get in the house before it starts raining again. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Toodles.